Hello everyone, Cathar here. I just got back from playtesting Necromancy. Yes, you heard that right. Jagex finally heard my pleas and set up a testing station for me in the desert, and gave me an opportunity to play a pre-release build of Necromancy so I could, in turn, share my thoughts and impressions with you. Now, to preface this, I didn't get much time with the skill. The network connection in Menefos isn't ideal, and due to technical issues on both sides, I only got a very short amount of time to play. Couple that with my hilariously bad indecisiveness, and it adds up to me having taken little to no advantage of this situation whatsoever, including not getting very much footage, so bear with me. But I don't make guides. Even if I tried, I doubt they'd be at the same caliber as my fellow creators who are more seasoned in that area. So instead, I'm going to focus on giving my first impressions, and of course, what this skill might mean for Desert Only. First off, this skill is simply awesome. So much work and polish has gone into everything from visuals, combat mechanics, UI elements, utility, even tutorialization. It truly feels like an opportunity for Jagex to try again with evolution of combat, and I believe they've nailed it. But on top of that, the skill itself feels very unique. It's not just a fourth combat style bolted onto the existing three. It stands out on its own two legs and really differentiates itself from the other styles. And the city of so damn pretty. I can't show you, but I can't wait for everyone to see it. It might be my favorite location in the game as of now. The design, the layout, and graphical fidelity that went into this new location is simply outstanding. But, alright, enough gushing about frivolities. Is that a word? What does this mean for the account? Well, I can confidently say that allowing Effendi access to the tutorial for Necro was a great call, so thank you to everyone who voted yes on that. It also doesn't feel too much like a breach in restrictions, as pretty much the entire tutorial takes place in the underworld, and alternate planes of existence have always been allowed on this account. Effendi will be revisiting the city regularly, I think. Rituals are a key ingredient to progression within Necromancy, along with the new runes only being craftable there, so it's safe to say my stay in the underworld shall be extensive. How useful Necromancy will be for the account is still debatable. As with all combats, it's going to be heavily reliant on what gear I can source with my restrictions. Melee is capped out at tier 80 gear, and while Necromancy combat has a lot of interesting utility and interactions within its ability pool, unless I can somehow source at minimum tier 70 gear for Necromancy, I don't really see it being the combat style of choice going into the Telos fight. However, it could be a viable alternative to magic and ranged for other content, like the rest of the God Wars Dungeon 2 bosses. It's all a complete toss-up right now. I did, however, get to try Necromancy against the Calphite Queen. For context, my stats and gear were artificially set to level 70, and because of that, I had a bunch of abilities that I didn't know how to use yet. I was working against the clock after all. So I doubt I was anywhere even remotely close to efficient, but the fight went well, and Necromancy held its own. So that is possibly an option down the road to make farming Calphite Queen a little more accessible. Ultimately, while Necromancy's utility might be limited to me, the nature of this series means everything's utility is limited, so we'll just have to wait and see. But in the meantime, I cannot wait for the release. I'm incredibly excited to get to try this skill out, both on my main and on Desert Only. And I can't wait to hear what all of you think when you get your hands on the skill. I want to take a second to thank Jagex for this opportunity. Technical issues aside, they went above and beyond to get Necromancy into my hands, and they didn't have to. So I appreciate all of the effort that went into setting up this entire experience. Thank you. Anyway, that's enough from me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.